This is a Nissan Micra K12. Quite a popular car, still quite a lot about. And is it a terrible car? It is. The Nissan Micra K12 came out, what was it, about 2003, I think it was, thereabouts, replacing the K11. And the K11 was one of the most remarkable cars for reliability ever. And they replaced it with something that looked very modern indeed, but sacrificed that bomb-proof Nissan engine for a Renault engine instead. If we could talk about the styling for a second. This one isn't in the best of condition, but obviously the style's still there. And what a looking car! What a good looking car! What a funky! What a cool! What an amazing! What a cannot compute! What a terrible looking car! Massive, gormless looking headlamps that look like slippers that have been put on upside down. The rear end just looks like Mr. Magoo. This kind of unusual swooping line that goes all the way around there. Almost like it was an extension on top of the car that they thought of halfway through designing it. And that's always been the Japanese way of style. Just loads of mixed up ideas. No real focus. However, actually I think that this is different. I do, in a rather unexplainable fashion, like the look of the Nissan Micra. Most Nissans and Japanese cars in general, they look like they've been designed by a bunch of people that all had contrasting ideas, but this one does look like maybe one person did all the thinking, and like it or not, it all fits together rather nicely. It's kind of odd because the more I look at it, the more I dislike it. But I'm used to seeing Micras about here. They're all over the place. They're everywhere, aren't they? It's not an unusual thing at all. I've never really noticed just how horrible it is, but at the same time, kind of good. Normally, when I do a car review test drive thing, even a terrible car, I will take my overalls off to keep the car as clean as possible. On this instance, I've put them on. Ugh. It's a long way from being the dirtiest car I've ever been in, but it's not very nice, and it smells pretty horrible as well. It's just really, really grubby. And to think that somebody actually has been living with a car like this, that is a phenomenal amount of just general muck. Incredibly light door, a bit like the Citroen, nice and clangy. The rear one, very light, very light, very flimsy feeling. As flimsy as that toilet roll that you just pulled out from all the wee water. That smells so bad, I thought I'd park it next to this smoky fire to try and improve it somewhat. Like barbecued rancid sausages. First thing I can say that's good, headroom, quite a bit there, quite impressive. And you're not sat too far away from the door. And it's nice and narrow, so you can open the other door should the handle not be working or something like that, just like that. May as well, just for the moment, just ignore the fact that this is an absolute horrible stinky mess in here and have a look at the features. It has 2 electric windows, amazing. It has heater controls that don't feel too bad. It has vents that have felt worse. It has a thing there that sometimes opens. It has an ashtray full of ash. Nice. Also disgusting, and I'm getting itchy thinking about it. The seats are okay, but obviously very dirty, but not particularly supportive. In the back we find a lot of goggles for some reason, and what looks like not a lot of legroom. No legroom there, look. It's just pushing against the seat. Headroom is actually really touching the glass more than anything. And but really the main thing is it's so disgusting in here, I don't really want to be in it. Yep, the boot is small. I would show you the engine, but the bonnet doesn't open. Time to go for a drive. Now here's where it gets a bit better, because although that is a Renault engine with 123,000 miles, sounds very smooth. Very smooth indeed. So there we go, there's a plus point. One of the airbags isn't working, that's an MOT failure. There's the sound of the spring ponging, because it's got a broken spring. Not a drop link, as I was told. Someone's beeping at me. It's beeping because I haven't got my seatbelt on. Well, there's no need. I don't need my seatbelt because there's no MOT on this car. It's run out. It's not going too well, this car, is it? No. But it's about to get worse. A lot worse. Because I've bought this car. Yep, I'm not even joking. I've bought this car thinking it had 2 tyres that needed replacing and a drop link, and then it'd be fine for an MOT. Nissan Micra the good sellers. I don't have to like it to sell it, do I? That's what I'm thinking. Bought in a bit of a rush because the chap said to me I can pay him when I sell it. And here we go. Both headlamps have cataracts. All 4 tyres are bald. The airbag warning light is on. The interior, of course, is a complete tip. That can be vacuumed out though, can't it? That's not really the major issue. If you squint, it looks like a half decent car until you come around this side here and you discover that door handle is missing. So it has to be opened from the inside. And then, oh dear, look at this. It's had a right good whack on the side. Somebody has been very clumsy, and that information is on the V5. So it's official, it's a write-off. This whole side's not presentable at all without quite a lot of money being spent on it. And really, you don't buy a cheap car to spend a lot of money on it. That and the fact that the bonnet won't open properly, and there's a broken spring on that side, broken track rod end on this side as well. Also had it pointed out to me that these rear wheels don't exactly line up properly, so it's had some sort of issue there as well. So the car is an absolute scrapper. You'd think I'd be smart enough not to fall for this kind of nonsense, but for some reason